Welcome back. One of the final races to be called last night was Illinois' 13th congressional district between incumbent Rodney Davis, Republican, and Democratic challenger Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan, a race that brought a lot of heavy hitters like Vice President Mike Pence to Central Illinois. Well, we had people there at both sides, and joining us now from our Capitol newsroom is Raquel Martin. Raquel, it took a while, but Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan just conceded within the last 90 minutes or so. What's the word from her camp?
Well, hi, Eugene. Yeah, that's right. Her campaign just put out a statement. They took all morning, but they said they wanted to count every single provisional and absentee ballot before conceding to Congressman Rodney Davis. I confirmed from his campaign and hers that she did call and congratulate him on his victory. She says in a statement that she released that she wishes it did go the other way, but this has been one of the greatest honors of her life. Now, she says she's traveled thousands of miles holding town halls and talking to constituents, and she says she plans on holding Congressman Davis accountable for the promises he's now making to protect people with pre-existing conditions across Central Illinois and across the nation.
It was expected to be close, and it lived up to that hype. What were the factors that played into this and ultimately helped for Davis to win?
Well, Eugene, there's two important factors. Some would say that President Trump played a big role. There was a lot of people frustrated with some of the rhetoric they hear from his administration. But here in the 13th district, Londrigan made health care a big deal. She was pushing Congressman Davis on or not pushing him, but asking him why he voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act several times. Now, she says that his 11 votes to repeal the Affordable Care Act actually would have taken away health care coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. Now, Congressman Rodney Davis and her went back and forth on this issue, but a lot of people attribute this tight race to that debate. A lot of what he says, independent fact checkers say is just false. They believe that the Republican replacement for the Affordable Care Act would in fact limit coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. But again, last night at his headquarters, Congressman Davis did make a vow and a promise that he would be going back to D.C. to ensure that coverage is there.
All right, and real quick here, the blue wave, as everyone's been calling it, did help Democrats get into the national scene, get elected nationally and statewide. But now that they're going to have to go into office, how could that impact the way things are governed nationally and within the state?
Well, on the national level, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for President Trump to run his administration. He's going to definitely get some checks in the House from Democrats opposing some things like on immigration, for instance, and of course on that FBI investigation done by Mueller. Now, here on the state level, Democrats are going to have a huge advantage with passing legislation like legalizing recreational marijuana, for one, and also some bills that they're talking about right now, like increasing the wages for teachers and probably some gun legislation, things that they got a lot of pushback from Republicans earlier this year. It's going to be a lot more easy, but they're still going to be up against the financial problems that we're facing here in the state. So unless they are able to dig us out this hole, no one is safe. In the next 2 years, we could see Republicans, get some footing if J.B. Pritzker is unable to perform.
All right. Well, Raquel, thank you so much for that insight.